Hey, RetconRaider here. Today's video is dedicated to the Raiders, the fine folks who help make these videos possible, with special thanks to Revenant, Anerdinwarpaint, Antonio Hernandez, Icestormshadow, Nathan Welch Jr., and Valor. Thanks for your support, guys. That said, let's get started. And welcome back to Wasteland 3, as we find ourselves back out in the field and making our first foray into the ruins of Denver. Now, I do have a short checklist here of where to spend our points, so let's take care of that. Also, there's a cat crawling on me. Hello, Ellie. Scoot, scoot, sweetheart. Full disclosure, I originally planned on opening this episode by having us fill out the rest of the area around the Denver ruins. But in actually checking it out, it turns out that we have discovered all of the notable locations. It's really just the tellurium mines, the Union Station, the ghost town where we met those sisters. Oh, and the paint mines. But aside from that, we have cleared everything. There weren't even any campsites or stashes. So yeah, we're just skipping right ahead to the ruins themselves. I'm sure you all don't mind. Though this is likely to be a bit of a talky episode, so, brace yourselves. Denver. The rubble-strewn streets of Denver. The mile-high city. The Colorado State Capitol building still stands among the towering ruins.
Trials in session. Outsiders are forbidden to interfere.
At ease, Sister Glory. I know what this is about. The Patriarch has sent the famous Desert Rangers to inquire after his son, Valor. I'll be with you in just a moment, Rangers. Justice is swift in God President Reagan's America.
We respectfully request an audience with the God President to, negotiate on behalf of the Patriarch.
Well, so polite. Excellent. We have something we'd like to discuss with you, too. Ronnie, are you ready to begin the trial?
Yes, Nancy. Present the accused.
Construct depicting the elder statesman. Curious. And beautiful.
So you not only interrupt our trial, but you allow your machine to prattle on about our great God President?
Oh, that's just our buddy back in the truck. They have a thing for Reagan. I mean, who wouldn't, right?
Ah, yes. God President Reagan's presence can be overwhelming. But do try and contain yourselves. Now, back to the matter at hand. Husband, this heathen godfisher attacked 3 of our commandos, captured 1, cut off his limbs, and sent him screaming into the sky.
The gods of the sky must be appeased, or the nurturing rains will never come. Thus, we appease them with our sacred kites and the blood of unbelievers.
Well, that doesn't sound very civilized. What's the other one done?
Okay, let's tread lightly here. Gotta say, your god is pretty awesome.
Thank you. But please, no further interruptions.
Well, if not interrupting was an option, I might have chosen it. But here we are.
The other one, husband, is a communist robot from the machine commune who trespassed on our land.
Your designation is incorrect.
We are a direct democracy. And I entered your lands to heal the injured humans. It is irrelevant whether one is communist. Communist? Communist? As for the hippie, no one can be denied the promise that is, well, America. Let's give her a second chance. Go and, sin no more.
Fools! The gods of the sky will devour you.
Thus is justice done in America. God bless us, and God bless God President Reagan. Sorry to keep you waiting, but matters of state must come first. I'm Mother Nancy Reliance, and this is my husband, God President Reagan. Welcome to the shining city on the hill.
Uh-huh. So, why'd you kill the helpful robot, and not the psycho who skinned your commando?
First of all, I didn't kill it. Ronnie did. Second, the will of the God President is not to be questioned. If he spares one sinner and not another, there must be a reason. Now, if you still want to discuss Valor Buchanan, come and join Ronnie and I in the Western White House. We will receive you in the sacred server room. Good day.
Jelly beans! We haven't had any visitors since we paused the Patriarch's oil. You're the Rangers, right?
Meeting God President Reagan is a great honor. Congratulations!
Yeah, I certainly do feel honored.
Wow, the Desert Rangers! We don't get many famous folks around these parts. And you're getting the VIP treatment, too. Meeting the God President face to face. I'm Sister Nancy Glory, by the way. Anything I can do for you?
I think we'll just avoid that first option. Mother Reliance said that the Godfishers attacked your troops, so why set her free?
Ronnie, set her free. She's one of them crazy godfishers. They like to hang people's torsos onto kites and fly them up in the air. Supposed to attract demons from the clouds or something like that. Ugh, disgusting heathen nonsense. It'll all go when we finally cleanse this place.
Yeah, can't really argue with that.
This is Ronnie's land, his oil, and we ain't leaving. Not for cannibals, call me computers, pinko robots, or filthy plain savages. Not for anyone.
Well, that, I think, is something that we can get behind. I think it's pretty well established at this point that the Godfishers are basically monsters. Those Godfishers seem a bit too close for comfort. Need some help chasing them off?
Yeah, well, don't tell anybody I said so, but we kinda do. There's more and more of them all the time. They're moving into our oil field now. Of course, Ronnie blasts them whenever they get too close, but he ain't mobile, and Mother Nancy won't give me the troops I need to fight them. So, well, if you're looking for a paycheck...
Sure, we'll see what we can do.
Well, thanks, Rangers. What else can I do for you?
Well, don't sound too excited there. So, your name's Nancy Glory, and your boss is Nancy Reliance. Why are so many of you named Nancy?
We take the name Nancy from Ronnie's original wife, back before the deluge of fire. It's the greatest honor a woman can achieve, being a Nancy.
I love my Nancy.
Oh, I love you too, Ronnie.
Yes, that does seem like a very functional relationship. I will say the difference in honorifics is interesting, though. Sister Nancy versus Mother Nancy. Similar titles, but with one godwife definitively on top. Take care, Glory.
You too, Rangers. Don't forget, Mother Nancy and Ronnie are waiting for you inside.
Sure. But we'll just have a quick look around first. Have a chat with a few of the locals, maybe pocket a few untended goods. Let's not stray too far just yet. Hi.
Well, hello down there. Looking forward to seeing you inside.
Okay, sounds like a plan.
Do you ever question your faith?
Of course not.
Neither.
Praise the Gipper!
Pray for Ronnie. Don't keep the God President waiting, Rangers. You'll find him at the north end of the building, in the sanctuary of the Holy Servant. I wish I could get an audience with the God President.
Reagan saved the world from the red menace of communism, but he was betrayed by the perfidious Hinckley, who shot him with a poison bullet that gave him old-timer's disease. Yeah, a bit before my time, but that does sound about 80% accurate. Reborn, the Reagan shielded is chosen from nuclear fire, leading our ancestors to this place, and charged us with restoring the American way of life. Scattered commie remnants regrouped after the Reagan fell. In their madness, they launched nuclear missiles, dooming all of humanity. Okay, so it's starting to sound like the God President is actually just a ballistic defense program.
Howdy.
What's new?
Just watching this terminal for the Nancys. Keep it under your hat, but I'm told it's mighty important. Partner?
Yeah, let's have a look at that. RAED array. It looks like this terminal is connected to the Reagan statue. Upgrading it will increase the statue's combat effectiveness. Sabotaging it could damage or destroy the statue.
Sorry, partners. Access to this console is restricted by order of the Nancys.
Yeah, so it definitely sounds like an anti-ballistic system. The statue outside was probably like an anti-missile laser system that they just dressed up and now essentially worship. A squat bulldog of a woman wipes her hands with an oil-stained cloth. Her work belt is overloaded with tools and guns.
Hey there, friends. Sister Nancy Forge, Ronnie's fourth wife, and his armorer. Made all our guns, armor, explosives, and that commie-killing Ronnie statue out on our front porch.
That statue's amazing. How'd you make the weapon so powerful?
Trade secret, meaning I won't sell it, and you couldn't afford it if I did. Doesn't mean I don't appreciate the compliment, though. Thank you. Anyway, I'm the trader here on top of everything else. You need something? I might have it. And if I don't, you probably don't need it.
What made you choose this trade?
Ronnie called me to it during one of his spells, way back when I was a girl. She has hands of iron for forging steel, he said. When a god tells you your trade, you'd best listen.
How did you build that statue?
Blood, sweat, and tears, friend. Blood, sweat, and tears. Scavenged and smelted the plating myself, hand ground the laser lenses, and spent a year wrapping the wiring. Also hunted and killed 30 or so scar collectors because I had some parts I needed. Steel, servos, and such.
She winks.
More than a few of the statue's bits and bobs have blood on them. A fitting tribute to America's fighting president, right?
I think they are literally married to it. Yeah, it's really impressive.
Of course it is. I made it. And it's imbued with Ronnie's spirit. It's an all-American ass-kicking war machine! Yeehaw!
I have to say, you do some fine work here.
Well now, kinda you to say so. What did you like best about it?
Whoops. Okay, not the one that implies their god president is just a machine. A bit vague, but you Gippers are just outfitted with some impressive gear, that's all.
Fitting them with all that gear was a job and a half. Nice to be appreciated. You know, that reminds me. I got some leftovers from that job taking up valuable space. It's yours if you want it. Make sure you put that to good use, Rangers.
Well, thank you. That looks to be an armor modding skill book, which is nice because it does somewhat make up for that weapon modding book we apparently missed back at the Tellurium mines. I could have gone back and redone that part just to get the book, but I do generally prefer to live with the consequences of my actions. Right, strictly outdated mid-tier weapons. And mid-tier armor, except for this piece. The Chemtech chest. A single, unique level 25 piece of armor in a level 12 region. Seems a bit odd, but we can certainly afford it, so we'll go ahead and grab that. We'll grab all those energy cells too. And the flamer fuel. I want to say we're good on the rest of these ammo types, but I will double check that later. Ooh, mods. You know what? These are all pretty cheap. We'll just, we'll grab everything but the melee mods, and then figure out what to do with them later. And we have a toaster. Lovely.
That toaster's been broken for ages. If you can fix it, it's yours.
She said, as we fixed the toaster. So, I guess this toast is now ours. Cool. I have never before felt so rewarded. I will note that, Sister Forge did seem to make a distinction between the statue she built and the weapon it's actually equipped with.
You'll find him.
Again, that does seem to reinforce my theory that they basically just built a Reagan robot around a pre-existing defense system. Your daily sermon for when on the road. Keep away from commies.
My fellow Americans, well, turn with me now to the Book of Bonzo, chapter 12, verse 1. Blessed are the job creators, for the tax cuts they receive will trickle down to the middle class. Well, blessed are the nukes, for they protect our freedom from the evil communist. Blessed is the oil that sustains our military-industrial complex and makes us, well, a shining city on the hill. Rejoice and be glad, for your reward is great on Wall Street. Success sells. Greed is good. Well, amen.
No comment. Moving on.
Look, I know y'all are a big deal, but that's Gipper property. Hands off.
Honestly, I'm just not used to people even noticing when I take their stuff. Before the deluge of fire, our God President's stare cripples his foes, while Nancy's gentle smile graces the world with joy. The Gipper, making the world a better place for all Americans. I do like the fact that they used real stock images for, hold that thought. War journalists are said to have photographed Reagan at his most iconic moments. The original images are lost to time, but history lives on through acrylics, the most precious of all paints. Yeah, I'm gonna say they may have taken some slight liberties there. A speaker next to the door crackles to life.
Welcome to the Western White House. God President Reagan is expecting you. Please come in.
Ah, right. I didn't mean to trigger that so soon. The heavy door swings open. Oh, good. Okay, so we can finish exploring before we actually go chat with Reliance. We've got some pretty interesting things up here. First Lady Nancy Reagan, riding a mighty weapon of peace. I approve. Very, Dr. Strangelove. Reagan, the mighty and merciful. Alright, that is where we came in. We've got another
Partner?
terminal.
Pilgrim?
Yeah, Bill, what's up?
Partner?
The young man gives you his best stoic, steely-eyed nod. Sadly, he looks like he's about to sneeze. Something wrong with your face, kid?
Darn it. I'm just trying to do it like all rangers and marshals and cowboys in the stories do it. Nodding and squinting and staring right through you. You know, tough, hard. My name's Bill. I have a stupid question. I know it's stupid, but I gotta ask. I just gotta know.
Shoot, kid. What were you gonna ask us?
Have any of you seen my ma anywhere? I told you it was a stupid question. How would you know if you saw her? I don't even have a picture of it. I just... you forget I asked.
Your mom's missing? Since when? What happened?
It was about 6 years ago. She had a fight with Mother Nancy. Called her a bunch of things I'd never heard before. They wanted her to become one of those God President Reagan's wives. It's a big honor, but I guess she didn't want it. She said she'd leave before she married a machine. They told her, okay, go, but I couldn't go with her. She left anyway.
Huh. Have you, ever tried looking for your mom?
You mean like the stories? Walking the West with a 6-shooter in my hand, saving my mom from, engines and cattle barons and railroad men? You think I should do it?
Have you ever stepped outside Gipper territory? Do you know what it's like out there?
Sure I do. I mean, I've never been, but I know all the history. You know, how God President Reagan conquered the West before it was God President. All that.
Reagan conquered the West?
You don't know? Well, this was back in the bad old days, when the West was overrun by commies all trying to build iron curtains and stop freedom. The God President was still a man back then, before the Ascension, but oh boy, was he tough. He had a 6-shooter that fired 7 bullets, and a horse named Ashwater that killed Reds just by looking at them. Anyway, I know the West has gotten worse again since he tamed it back then, but I reckon I can handle it.
Yeah, that sounds like a terrible idea. I mean, look, I'm all for vision quests and trying to find your place in the world and getting this kid away from a dangerous cult, but I don't think he is really equipped for this. Don't do it, kid. Seriously. You'll die out there.
You think so? Yeah, maybe you're right. I guess it would have been dumb, but it felt right. Like my heart was a locked door, and your words were the key. Yeah. Sorry, Ma.
Well, now you're making me feel bad. You know what? Let me give that some thought. We'll get back to you.
Yeah, see ya.
Bill seems like a nice, if naive, kid. I'm not sure this is the best place for him, but I'm not sure there's much alternative. I mean, look, if we could invite him to Ranger HQ, I would. Sysadmin Logs. This tape is labeled Sister Justice Sysadmin Logs. Sister Nancy Justice. I don't think we've met her.
Sysadmin Log Entry 509, Testament of Sister Nancy Justice. Another unexpected proclamation today. Mother Nancy has ordered a full audit of Reagan's neural net to try and isolate the cause. Sysadmin Log Entry 1821, Testament of Sister Nancy Justice. Reagan's behavior is increasingly erratic. He's having conversations with persons only he can see. I fear that I don't have the code craft to make this right. Sysadmin Log Entry 2403, Testament of Sister Nancy Justice. The God President demanded to speak with Nancy tonight. When we asked which Nancy, he flew into a terrible rage. Had to initiate an emergency shutdown for repairs.
Sysadmin Log Entry 3314, Testament of Mother Nancy Reliance. This This log has reached the end of its usefulness and will be terminated. Effective immediately.
Oh, well, I guess that might be why we have not, in fact, met Sister Nancy Justice. I imagine she is no longer with us. Cruel Corey. Corey has a heartless gaze, but the neighborhood is free of strays. Plus 5% damage versus animals. Delightful. A small nameplate describes the clock's time zone as Freedom Standard. Sure, why not? Ma'am? Let's not take her stuff. A lean, weathered woman sizes you up as you approach.
If you're looking to get patched up, I'm your gal. They call me the Wyman around here, but I prefer Doc.
The Wyman? Why, man?
If you're a Nancy and you do something the other Nancys don't like, they shun you and call you a Wyman. Yeah, no idea what it means. Maybe some kind of rat or insect or something. Anyway, you'll hear a lot of things about me in this shitty city on the hill. None of them good. But nobody can fault my doctrine, so you don't have to worry.
Cool. So, why do they say bad things about you?
Well, I was Reagan's second wife behind Reliance, and now I'm not. We'll just leave it at that.
So, you quit being a Nancy.
Quit? Ha! I was excommunicated. Mother Reliance burned my Nancy wig and used my red suit for a toilet rag.
Not that it seems to have actually stopped you from wearing it, I see.
She'd hand me over to the Godfishers if anyone else in this Girl Scout camp knew their way around a medkit. Speaking of, I could use your help to drive that point home. I might be able to waive the fees for treating your wounds, if you're interested.
If you're not happy here, why not move?
To where? Colorado Springs? Why would I bother trading one dictator with delusions of godhood for another?
Ow.
Besides, Colorado Springs has plenty of doctors, and the Patriarch would likely string me up within a week for speaking my mind.
Yeah, that's fair.
That isn't true. So long as you're respectful and do what the marshals say, you are free to say whatever you like.
Do tell.
You sure about that, Lucia? Anyway, what did you want our help with?
So, like I said, Reliance would have Ronnie light me up if she didn't need me. So, I need to make sure she doesn't start looking at other medical options. Pretty sure the robots at the machine commune have some tricks for healing humans, not just machines. Every once in a while, a Gipper patrol will get lost, injured, and then a couple of days later show up right as rain, escorted by a couple of robots. Obviously, Reliance has Ronnie blast him before any commie sleeper programming can turn on, but if you're in the commune and get some kind of data on their clinic, I'll heal you up for free from then on. And throw in a few medical supplies, too.
Huh. So, Mother Reliance has any soldiers who find out the robots are friendly killed. That's grim. Sure, we'll look into it.
Great. Thank you. Just don't mention this to anyone else, huh? Especially not Forge. Pretty sure she wants this intel too, but if I share, it won't win me an inch with Reliance.
Right. Got any supplies for sale?
See for yourself.
Nothing all that notable, but we'll grab a quick restock. And just off the top of my head, we're looking at 5 Godwives. Mother Nancy Reliance was first, followed by the Wyman here. Followed by... Forge said she was the 4th wife, I think. So that would put Glory at either 3rd or 5th. Though I guess the Wyman might actually be Sister Justice. Though that doesn't seem to quite fit, because Wyman's thing seems to be medical, and Sister Justice seems to be a computer specialist. I was going to suggest that Sister might actually be short for Systems Administrator, but if that was the case, it's definitely not now. Alright, let's go have our face-to-face with the God President himself.
What is this? Those are the Desert Rangers! They work for my father! You promised to keep me safe!
Calm down, Valor. God President Reagan has everything under control.
Well now, welcome, Patriots. Nancy and I, well, we appreciate your selfless service and want to thank you for it. You are true Americans and, well, good neighbors. Now then, help yourself to some jalebies, and let's get down to business, shall we? As you know. You and I have a rendezvous with destiny. We'll preserve for our children this, the last best hope of man on Earth, or we'll sentence them to...
Oh, God, my fucking ears. Please don't do that.
If it takes a blood, let's get it over with. Well, what do you say?
Fucking ow. Just gonna turn down the volume on my headphones here. Bloodbath.
Freedom is never more than 1 generation away from extinction. How do you tell a communist? Well, it's someone who reads Marx and Lenin. And how do you tell an anti-communist? It's someone who understands Marx and Lenin.
Marx? Lemon? Who are they?
It is the Soviet Union that runs against the tide of history by denying human freedom and human dignity to its citizens.
Asking only for purposes of our education, ma'am and sir. We don't mean to upset anyone.
I'll be happy to explain, Rangers. Communism is a foul philosophy that tricks people into giving up their individuality and submitting to the will of the state, which commands them to work for free and relentlessly attack those who don't subscribe to their ideology. It is an evil beyond reckoning.
Yeah, sure. That sounds awfully anti-American.
I think that most people in this country would say yes. They are better off than they were 4 years ago. Why shouldn't we believe that? We are Americans.
That's enough, Ronnie. You did very well. But it's bedtime for Bonzo now, okay?
Okay, Mommy. Well, I'm sleepy.
I know you are, darling. Night-night. Thank you for joining the God President and I in the sacred server room, Rangers. Before we discuss why you're here, I have a proposition for you. A favor that would make us look more favorably on your requests.
Yeah? And what exactly would that be?
My husband, the God President, wishes to transfer his consciousness to a human body. To accomplish this, we must acquire a... What was it, Valor?
A cybernetic transfer module. It's amazing. Basically, what it does is...
That's enough for now, Valor. But yes, we must acquire this transfer module from the filthy communist robots that occupy the Denver airport. Or rather, we'd like you to acquire it and bring it here, to us. Once God President Reagan has a human body, you'll be rewarded with money, a fine weapon, and we will relinquish our claim on Valor and restart the oil to Colorado Springs.
Well, that does sound like a reasonable deal, but I think we're going to need some more information first.
Very well, but I warn you, I have a very limited supply of patience.
No way. You? Really? Tell us more about these robots at the airport.
They call themselves a commune and say they are working for the betterment of all sentient beings. It's a lie. They put on a friendly face so they can turn humans against each other. Mark my words, they'll try to trick you too. But their end draws near. Once we have what we need from them, they will be dealt with like the dirty communists they are.
I'm sensing a bit of a recurring trend here. Any other dangers besides the robots?
The Godfishers are always a danger in Denver, but trained mercenaries such as yourself should be able to handle them.
Oh, yeah, we're gonna kill them. No problems there. Why haven't you sent some Gippers to go get the module?
The preparations have kept us busy enough. Your assistance is a convenience that we are willing to pay for. Nothing more.
Tell us more about this fine weapon.
It's gonna be an amazing weapon. Have you seen the lasers on Reagan's statue? Like that, only handheld. Awesome! I'm working on it with Sister Nancy Forge. Well, I gave her the idea, anyway.
Yes, Valor. As you say, an awesome weapon. And you shall have it, Rangers. Once Ronnie is human again, of course. Now, I serve at the pleasure of a god, Rangers. And I don't have time for this non-committal dithering. Are you going to help us or not?
Well, pretty much everything we've heard about Reliance up to this point would certainly imply we're heading into a sudden but inevitable betrayal scenario. But we might as well go through the motions. It's a deal. We get the module, you turn over Valor, and resume oil shipments to Colorado Springs.
Agreed, but only after Valor helps us transfer God President Reagan into a new body.
That's right. They can't do this without me.
Yes, dear. Now keep working. Meanwhile, our home is at your disposal. I'll tell the sisters you can come and go as you please. Make America proud, Rangers.
Fascinating. Now, obviously, there's a lot of exaggeration and parody in there, and I'm not really going to touch on the political stuff. That's a Oh, hold on. A recording of Reliance's manifesto, which is broadcast over the airwaves and spread far and wide.
People do rather get the wrong idea about us. I can't say I mind. Let us be underestimated and ridiculed. They think our Ronnie is dead and never coming back, and they are wrong. They accuse us of seeing communists in every shadow, and, well, they are right. But so are we. Make no mistake, dears. We are surrounded by the vestiges of the evil empire. They have turned our great nation into an irradiated graveyard, and they expect us to weep. But we are steel, sisters. We do not bend, nor do we rust. We endure. So let them laugh at us. We are the wives of the God President, and we will endure until he returns to us. Until then, his great work lies before us, unfinished. We will arm our sons and our daughters and teach them to hunt communists and snake-tongued socialists. From birth, we will turn our children's hearts to unyielding stone. With our blessing, they will bring peace back to the world, one bullet at a time. We do this in the Gippers' name. Amen.
Okay, so ignoring the parody, the pseudo-political rhetoric, there's some interesting observations to be made here, strictly from the standpoint of a post-apocalyptic cult. Because I really do think that that stuff is mostly just fluff, and Mother Nancy Reliance herself is just your standard power-hungry con artist. I mean, she is just one of the 5 known godwives, but she's definitely positioned herself at the top of the heap. In fact, the Wyman was the second wife, and Reliance is the one who had her stripped of that role. Not to mention whatever happened to Sister Justice, the one other wife who in theory had more control over God President Reagan than Mother Reliance would have had. There is a bit of a gap there in the logs, but note that one of the very final entries left by Sister Justice before whatever happened to her was the one where she mentioned she had to emergency shut down the God President, which obviously is something that Mother Reliance would not want to have happen, because she bristles at even the slightest implication that God President Reagan is not an infallible divine being. Not, mind you, that I think Mother Reliance actually believes that. She actually just seems to use it as a tool to control the rest of the cult, and she actually maintains what appears to be a fairly draconian rule, because she can exile or execute people pretty much at a whim. I mean, she stripped the Wyman of her rank. She banished Bill's mother for refusing to become one of the godwives. Not to mention, again, whatever happened to Sister Justice. And the fact that she apparently just had soldiers executed if they learned information that would be inconvenient for her to have to try to explain away, and that might spread through the rest of the ranks. Hence why I am fully assuming she is going to betray us at some point. Anyway, this seems like a good break point, so let's hit the pause button for now, and we will pick up here next time, as we have a quick chat with Valor, maybe fill in a few details with Mother Reliance, and then it sounds like we have a completely different blood cult to kill. The jury's still out on the robot commune. See you then. Oh, and remember, although I do love playing Wasteland 3, you can find out more about the game by visiting the official website, the official social media feeds, or the official store pages. If you'd like to help support the channel, then feel free to push any of those little buttons that do the things and stuff, or check out my Patreon account. As always, links are in the description.
Okay, Mommy. Well, I'm sleepy.